Fair and Brown were old enough to raise her, and so the king let Fair and Brown raise Trembling. And then the king went off and did whatever it is the kings do during the day. Fair and Brown didn't know. They had the run of the castle, and they took care of Trembling. They loved Trembling, especially at first. And then she turned into a little sister. You know the ones I mean. The ones that get into your ribbons and tie them on knots. The ones that break the necklaces and they spit up on the gowns. She turned into a little sister. And so, because Fair and Brown had the run of the castle, they decided they would teach Trembling how to do the chores. They taught her all about sweeping and mopping. She got very good at it. She even thought she liked it. She thought it was a game for a while, but then Fair and Brown went off and did other things and left Trembling in the kitchen. They left her there more and more because as Trembling grew up, she started to be as fair as Fair. She looked exactly like Fair, as a matter of fact, almost like a twin, except her nature was just a bit sweeter than Fair's. And so Fair and Brown made very sure that Trembling always had a lot to do in the kitchen. She was cooking, or she was mopping, or she was sweeping, and she didn't get to go to the parties and the balls. She also didn't get to go to church. You see, back in Ireland a long time ago, going to church was a big event. And on this particular Sunday, Fair and Brown were going to church. Now, Fair had become betrothed to the Prince of Ireland. And on Sundays, they got to sit together. So Fair and Brown were getting ready to go to the church. And poor Trembling was down in the kitchen. She was sweeping. And she really did want to go to church with her big sisters, but she wasn't welcome. So Fair and Brown put on their Sunday best, went off in the carriage, and poor Trembling's left in the kitchen, sweeping. Wouldn't it be nice if I could go to the church and I could say my prayers in front of a real stained glass window and the real cross, and I could hear the preacher instead of having to say me prayers here in the kitchen at the hearth? Wouldn't it be nice? Just